Gold. God, it's good to look at. And as long as gold has been utilized in monetary standard, we've thought about making ways to coin it. In the United States, gold coins have been around pretty much as long as our nation has been minting coins. But we're not the only ones, obviously. There are so many countries that do this. The United Kingdom, the United States, China, Mexico, Russia, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Austria, Germany, and with all of these countries minting gold coins, it's no wonder that counterfeiters would target it to utilize coins that don't have quite the same value as others within the numismatic realm. Now, it's important to understand that when counterfeiters are doing their trade, sometimes they will use old coins. In the case of the first coin that I'm going to show you, a Russian 15 ruble gold coin from the year 1897, often American coins of lesser value were utilized because of the high numismatic value fetched in this particular coin. But there's something else that I want to talk to you about before I show you the coins. And that is something that I read article recently. It came from Numismatic Forgery, and the author, Charles Larson. Now, he was able, through his connections and working as a sergeant, to meet, understand, interview, and get into the mind of an ingenious forger named Mark Hoffman. Now, Mark Hoffman talked to him about some general rules of thumb when it comes to counterfeiting and forgery, what you need to do to spot them, and some things you really need to look at. Now, when he was doing this, he showed him a $20 golden eagle and how they would use multiple coins to make dozens of $1 gold coins. Now, they took the high dollar value of the $20 gold, but because the $1 gold coins carried a higher numismatic value, mind you, it's still a gold coin, they would mint it because the value that they got back relative to their intrinsic or gold content far outweighed the $20 gold coin. Here's the kicker. It's the proper alloy. They're the proper weight. They're the proper dimension. So how do you identify that they're fake? And we're going to talk about that. So to understand the types of methods that they use to do counterfeits, we're going to have to learn about three types: cast counterfeits, electrotyping, and transfer dies. The four coins that I'm going to show you today are primarily transfer dies. Electrotyping is something utilized for a bunch of different reasons. Museums will utilize them when they have coins of great value to put on display as a replica. Now, the other day I talked about fake coins that were coming out listed as silver. And I told you because they were slabbed, it was hard to look at the rim. Rim is really important when you're looking at electrotype coins because there's a small ring around the rim, and that's usually where they got held up or kept in place when they were doing the electroplating process. Now let's go ahead and talk about the coins. So the first coin that I'm going to talk about is, as I already stated, an 1897 Russian 15 rubles gold coin. It's a beautiful coin, great detail. You see the lettering on the obverse, really nice obverse. You got the really good clean image, good details. And then when you look at the reverse, you can see that dual eagle with the crest, 15 rubles, 1897, along with that mint mark. It's a beautiful coin. But when you look at this next image, you're going to see something. Now, this is very common when you're looking at diagnosing forgeries or fake coins. And that is When you're looking at things that are done through a transfer die, you're going to see something called repeat depressions. Now, repeat depressions are going to be something that's found in a multitude of coins by the same die. Whereas if you have a coin, you may only get the damage or a coin strike to that one coin. The pattern of those are never going to be the same. Remember the Henning nickel? Remember the die crack and the little punch in the R? There were other diagnostic tools that allowed you to identify that the Henning nickel was fake. The same thing happens here. Depressions, there's one primary thing you really want to look at, and that is, does the depression carry the same luster as the rest of the coin? Remember, if a coin was struck by something, the luster will shift, it will change, or it will ultimately go away. If it carries the same luster, it's a pretty good indicator that there's something wrong with it. Also, and this happens with all counterfeits, look for the details. In my last video, and I'll put it up here in the corner, you've seen that there were subtleties on this American Silver Eagle. And I'm going to show you some of those right now. So the next coin we're going to want to look at is going to be the 1887 Great Britain 5 sovereign gold coin. Now, the one that you're seeing on the screen is a counterfeit. And when you look at it, there are some specific items that you want to look at. I'm going to show you those right now. On the reverse of the coin, you're going to see those repeating depressions as well. Remember, when you're looking at these, they carry the exact same luster as the rest of the coin. Now, when you look at the colors of these coins, you can see they just don't look right. They're a little bit brassy. Well, guess what? This is a 65% gold coin. It's probably going to test authentic. The weight's probably pretty close. So understanding the details of the coin really matter. If you see a bunch of these and they have these same depressions, these are great markers for you to pick up at. The next one I want to take you through is I want to look at 1917 British sovereign. Again, this is another one that we want to look at. And if we look at this, one thing you're going to see because of the high numismatic value on this particular coin, because this is a very popular series. Collectors want these pieces because of that premium that's done with this particular one. But when you look at this, you look at the images, you can see that this particular coin is really weak. Now, this is a transfer die as well, but it carries something that I want you to look at very carefully. Within the horse, within its front muscle, down through its lower abdomen area, and above into the edge of the coin, you're going to see a lot of kind of pop marks, pit marks. This is the same style, kind of hazy, grainy detail that you will see when coins are cast. Now, you can look at things like the weak details, or maybe even spikes or things coming off of the denticles. But again, those repeating depressions are going to be the things that you really need to look at. The next coin that I want to show you is the American Indian, 1910, 1914, 1915, 1911. These are some major years with this particular issue. But the problem is that on these coins, you'll see tool marks. Now, many of the Indian head gold coins have tool marks in the recesses of the neck. Now, since the counterfeiter utilized the same die throughout all of the coins, just changing the date at the end or counterstamping the dates after the fact, you're going to see those same tool marks in the exact same area. Coins across multiple years. Again, we talk about the Henning nickel. won't have that same issue with it across multiple years. And this is a major thing that you want to look at. Remind you that a genuine coin had to be sacrificed in order for these transfer dies to be made. So a real coin was used, but all the perfections in that coin then get transferred to every other coin struck with that particular die. Now, where we get into trouble is when we get a really good counterfeit inside a slab. And counterfeiting is becoming more and more targeted. And counterfeiters are getting smarter and smarter. NGC and PCGS have both stated that this is becoming a bigger issue in relations to their slabs. Now, PCGS took action, and I did a little short about some of the details that they've done and some of the security features and how you can spot them. It's important to understand the years of the slabs and when they came into place, and I talked a little bit about that. I'll be doing a video on that here in a little bit. But it's important that you understand that there's a lot of information. Now, I'm not going to have it all, but I can tell you what. There's a lot of people in this community who have a lot of great information. And if you have any questions, you have any concerns, let me know. I'll reach out to them. I will connect you with them and make sure that together we do what we can for this hobby to make sure that we combat this terrible thing called counterfeiting. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. If I've deserved it, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, smash that like. If you haven't already, subscribe. It's free. It really helps the channel. Cool. But if you really want to help me, watch the content and share it out. If this is valuable to you, it's probably valuable to somebody else. So put it out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbyte, and I will see you in the streams.